this weekend could cost you a fortune extra on your EV charging, as one of our Patreon members found out when we met him today on one of the meetups. But don't worry, because in his case, he got a great outcome because the charging network refunded him that extra charge. So don't get caught out. I'm Dave, we're looking into EV charging. So where are we today? Well, I'm actually not going to pronounce that because we'll probably get the video struck off by YouTube. But we're in Wrexham and it's a pub. Oh, by the way, in the background, you can meet Barry, one of our Patreon members. He's come out to meet us on the filming location. So where are we? We're in the car park of this pub, and there's an Osprey installation here. It's an interesting one in several ways. First of all, it's a low power one. These are 120 kilowatt chargers, and we don't normally see them, normally 150 or 300. So 120 for the CCS2 and 50 for the Chademos. It's also an interesting one because the location is barriered off at night. I think it's somewhere around about midnight. They drop the barriers, nobody can use it. It's supposed to be starting up at 8:30 in the morning when they open up the barriers, but there's a follow-on to that story because we've just been talking with the owner's partner. So why are we here and what's happening this weekend? And why is Barry here? Well, Barry's the one who reported this in to us. This weekend, the clocks fall back. They go back an hour. And Barry, earlier on this year, at one of the other occasions when the clock changes, was charging with Instavolt, and he plugged in that hour difference, and he got charged the full rate when he should have been on a discounted rate. So it was an Instavolt installation where he was charging at, and it's effectively double the price. So when he charged, he was expecting to pay the off-peak rate, and it turned out he was charged at the full rate. This can happen to anyone. It can also happen with parking. If you happen to come here and you're in that hour, it can be a big difference to you. Now, in Barry's case, it all worked out absolutely brilliantly because Barry got in touch with Instavolt and they generously agreed to refund the difference. But don't run the risk. Just make sure that you're definitely into the charging session, if it's an off-peak session, before you start a charge. So in general, at car parks and particularly pubs, you will have some sort of parking restrictions. Let's show you what we've got here, and we can give you a really good example. On this particular one, it tells you this is for electric vehicles only, and here, the easiest way of getting around this is you go into the pub, restaurant, and you put in your car registration, and that gives you a blanket exception for parking here, either for the car park while you're going to have a meal or for EV charging. But it does raise the question, what do you do when the barriers are up? I'm going to show you the barriers in a minute, and the pub is not yet open. And that is something we've not seen before, because here we have a QR code. This is an Osprey one, you can tell, and it says you can scan your QR code here. Now, the interesting thing is, if the pub is closed, you can't get inside to that computer terminal. So all you do, you scan your QR code there, and what it will do, it'll ask you to just register your car, put your registration number in, and that gives you exemption for charging your car, not for general car parking, but for charging your car. If you don't do that and the pub is closed and you can't put your number plate in there, you're going to get a ticket, and this one is £100. Now, it's amazing what local knowledge does, and that's why on this channel we get out and talk to people and go to locations. It says on the app for these, they're open from 8:30 in the morning through to, I think it's midnight. So this specifies the hours. Talking to the owner's partner, they told us that these are busiest at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, I don't think it's any surprise to anyone why we've retreated into the car. It is absolutely belting it down outside. We just can't cope out there. We tried umbrellas, way too windy. So we're just going to carry on inside. So the question remains, if this is open at 8:30, why is this so busy at 7 o'clock in the morning, according to the owner's partner? Well, the simple answer is, they open the gates at that time, and it's mainly for commercial traffic. There's a BT depot just up the road. They've got dozens of vans that all need charging up, and they don't have their own chargers. This is the nearest destination. And on a price one, which I've always gone on about with Osprey, I don't know what deal Post Office has with Osprey. I assume as a fleet they do get some sort of discount. But from the driver's point of view, they don't care what deal that Osprey has arranged with BT. They will have a charge card. They'll just come here, swipe the card and charge. Now I'm told 7 o'clock in the morning there are 6 bays here, and they are all fully occupied, and sometimes they have a short queue as well. So very, very busy first thing in the morning, and maybe it's advertised as 8:30 out there so that the general public don't come here, and it gives an opportunity for the commercial vehicles to come in without upsetting anyone. So that's one thing. Once you go past that mad rush in the morning, it quietens right the way down, and we eventually find 0, 1 or 2 vehicles. So there's that commercial time, as it were, and then it goes into normal time. And we do keep a check on the occupancy rates throughout the day on many of the CPOs, and Osprey is one that really seems to be suffering badly. Apart from today, for some strange reason, it is it's gone 12 o'clock, and when we look around, we're finding several of the chargers are being occupied. Not fully, there's none of the charging locations fully occupied, but there are some with 2 out of 4 available, 4 out of 6 available, and there's one with 2 out of 6 available. So that's quite a high occupancy rate. And yet other times throughout the day, it's just everything's available. So it's a really strange situation today. And in some of my criticisms, I might have actually been looking at the wrong time, and there might be secret times during the day which makes these chargers, which seem to have no business model that works, actually viable. Now, you've got to admit, I can't watch these every minute of the day, so there will be times of the day when these are actually being used. Possibly never full, apart from the commercial time in the morning, but actually being used. And that's proved to be the case while we've been here filming. We've been here for the best part of an hour, had a cup of coffee, no donut this time. And when we arrived, there was a Tesla charging, and now that we're filming, there's a Tesla charging in the bay right at this moment. And it does make you wonder why someone who has a car which can charge at 23, 25, 30 pence per kilowatt hour at a Tesla supercharger might be plugged in here at 82 pence. Because for private drivers, there's no discounts. And the answer to that one is, if you just type into your into my sat nav where the nearest Tesla supercharger is, it's 21 miles away. Flint Mountain, we filmed there on many occasions. So a car like the one that's in at the moment, which is a Tesla Model Y, it has a choice of either driving 21 miles, which is 30 minutes, charging up and then driving back again, or 82p, but I can do it right on the spot. Also surprising, because these are 120 kilowatt chargers, and that would indicate that Wrexham does not have any really fast ultra rapid chargers, because otherwise that car is capable, it's a dual motor, that car's capable of charging at 250 kilowatts, so it's going to be the charger that's throttling that charging experience. If there was a 200, 250, 300 kilowatt charger nearby, even at a dearer price, that would be the one to use, because it would charge twice as fast. So these are really strange, because it's looking like Wrexham has got very little going for it apart from this pub. This one is closed at midnight, not open to the general public till 8:30, and it's still not very busy, but it does get some use. Now, it does remind me a little bit of when we're filming up in Harrogate. We called into a Sainsbury's. They've got their own CPO, so they run their own chargers. They use the chem powers, but they do use the 300 kilowatts over there. And when we were there was a good number of commercial vehicles going in and out, BT vans and others. But there are also quite a lot of cars charging. And it makes sense there because it's very convenient. While you're doing your shopping, plug your car in, 300 kilowatts, no matter what you've got, you'll get a very good charge while you're shopping. Here, it looks like that option is just not available to them. They don't have high-powered chargers which are convenient. So we're going to do a bit of research and see if that's the case, but I suspect it is. So this video, well, the location certainly changed. We dashed into the car when the rain started, so our plans don't always go exactly according to plan. But it's what we have to put up with, particularly now going into the winter. It was great to meet up with Patreon member Barry and to hear his stories as well. So thanks for turning up, Barry, and you got a free coffee out of it. So from inside my Tesla Black Knight, that's it for this location. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm Dave.